misunderstood the cause of a disorder is your inability to treat or prevent it.
You look at the data of ever-increasing obesity and diabetes, and you just think, how is it possible the whole world has failed to eat healthfully?
Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? It's a nice morning. We're anxiously awaiting spring to come. It's a little wintry outside yet. I'm up here in what we call the crow's nest, fondly called the crow's nest. There's a big story behind that, but I'll tell that someday. Anyway, today is not about photography or printing landscapes or North Dakota landscapes. It's about this last 9 months where it came upon me that I needed to make myself healthy again. It was after a diagnosis of some heart things and, being put on more meds because of type 2 diabetes. And I thought, the doctors are just giving meds, all of that. And I've discussed this before. So I decided to do some research and give it a try. What I found out was the value of fasting and eating real food. And when I say real food, I'm saying from the garden, from our garden down at the farm, and eating locally raised organic beef. We're blessed to have a supplier right here, Bartlett Farms. Raw milk, also from Bartlett Farms, and pork from Bartlett Farms. From Garden Dwellers Farms on the other end of the hills, we have access to organic lamb and duck eggs, chicken eggs, pasture-raised chickens also. And back to Bartlett Farms, they also have pasture-raised eggs. So all real food for the last 9 months. And combine that with intermittent fasting and a few 3-day water fasts along the way. And I started out at just say 290 pounds, and I've lost 70 pounds. But what I discovered was that I lost a lot of that because in my muscles, I could tell things were not as strong as they used to be. And I was looking how wimpy my biceps were. They were like no guns, certainly without ammunition.
Youthful musculature, an increase in strength.
I do want to get into that conversation of the calories in versus calories out.
You need to understand if you're going to lose weight, and that's the sort of calories view versus the hormonal view, and that the hormonal view is actually more comprehensive and thus more conducive to getting you to lose weight. So let's start with the energy balance equation. And this is body fat equals calories in minus calories out. And
what we eat matters more than how often. In fact, if I were to put a hierarchy, now I'm thinking about this in real time, I would say the composition of the foods matters more, and then the frequency matters second.
So I thought, well, this is no good. And I started investigating that. And sure enough, it turns out that I was eating enough protein, but not enough of calories in it. Not enough. I was satiated. I didn't want to. I was at basically one meal a day. And I was losing weight. Then I hit a plateau and I couldn't lose anymore. And it was bugging me. So this is just a quick video of what I found out. What I found out was I was so restricting my intake down at one meal a day and then fasting 3-day water fast.
Be able to think of all of them. So the first thing is, if you track their protein and fat macros, you're going to find the same information as if you track their calories.
Yeah.
They're not eating enough total food.
Yes.
That my metabolism was slowing up. It said, whoa, man, there's not enough here. I thought there'd be plenty because of all the fat I had on me. I said, well, I could probably just diet, not eat anything for half a year. And, people have done that, but I think that's not necessarily the best way to go. I think the best way to go is figure out where you're at and how active you are. If you walk a lot, or in our case, we're working in the garden and out down here on the yard, which is on a hillside lot. So just mowing the yard, when I do that, will burn about 800 calories. And I figure my basal metabolic rate, that's the rate that keeps me alive if I'm just catatonic in bed, is about 1,700 calories. So I figure out what I should not drop below. And I was, for a long time, just at 1,700 calories and losing a lot of fat, but at the same time, it was muscle too. So I wasn't eating enough protein. So now what I've found out is that you almost have to eat more to lose weight and lose it in the right area, the fat. I believe I've gone from burning sugars and carbohydrates into burning fat. I think I'm more than fat adapted for that. So I started eating a little more. 2 meals a day, basically on a 16 or 18-hour fast, which is 8-hour to 6-hour window, and 2 meals, and mostly carnivore. We have 2 freezers full of local meat, and I'm going to give that a try for a while. But I can already feel my muscles strength returning and my muscle size returning. Now, I might give some of that credit to the fact that we started making, after looking at some videos by Dr. Davis about this L-reuteri ferment, yogurt, not real yogurt, but that L-reuteri, that bacteria has been lacking in humans for a while because of a lot of toxic things and antibiotics. So, and one of the things he said was that you'll start seeing your strength and muscle mass when you start doing L-reuteri.
So
I think even one of your videos you mentioned you personally gained how much muscle mass?
So in my 60s, I gained about 13 pounds of muscle, and my strength increased by 50%.
And sure enough, that's happening because I actually started going up in weight. But when I took my measurements, I'm actually going down in the measurements. So I guess I'll have to have some patience and continue to make the L-reuteri yogurt. We bought the microorganisms through Dr. Davis and a company that he deals with. And we also have been working on our biome, a lot of ferment. We take the raw milk from Bartlett Farms and make kefir and kefir pudding with chia seeds, great pudding. Linda always makes sauerkraut, and we ferment a lot of the veggies. And she's starting to ferment cheese now. So, and kombucha, and she makes some great kombucha. So we're a fermented family. But anyway, this is some of the first. This is April 7th or 8th, and I'll give an update to this because I was down to 220, just about ready to break 220, and then I started climbing up to 223, 224, 225. So I put on 5 pounds, but keeping my waist size, leg size, somewhat going down, but my biceps and upper legs are not shrinking anymore. So anyway, I'll find out if by eating more, I lose in the right spot. So more to come on this. It's not real scientific, but more to come. So hope you all a blessed day. It's real nice here. I'm going to start printing some more images for the gallery here at the Crow's Nest, which we call the Crow's Nest, but it's Lake Minnegotia Gallery. All right. See you next time. Bye.